What's poppin', y'all? It's your boy DeAndre. We back here with the Squid Games episode aftermath show with one of my special guests here today. As you can see, this is a different style interview we have going on. It is exclusive interview in person. We don't have this too often, so this is gonna be a special occasion. We had to get it set up a little differently. Get a little comfortable, got a couple of drinks. It's about to get lit in here, and we got some tea too to spill for y'all because y'all gotta know what's going on in here. I mean, it wouldn't be the aftermath show if we didn't have some tea to spill. So we got my special guest, Darius, aka Darian the Barbarian, number 176. How you doing today, man? Doing amazing. Okay.
Amazing. You know, when the president's in the building, he gotta show the fuck out. Of course, we're gonna give you guys an exclusive interview. Number 176, Darius, the Barbarian, and of course, I'm here to tell my side of everything. So I'm really happy I'm getting to share this moment. Thank you for bringing me onto your show. Long time coming, and we're gonna dive into some things, and I'm really excited.
Yeah, we're gonna get into it. So before we get into all the things, what made you apply to Squid Games?
Can I be real? I don't remember applying. I don't know how or what happened. All I remember is I just received a call back for the casting. I don't remember.
So what made you want to keep continuing the casting process with the show?
I actually thought it was a scam at first. I thought that it was like a scam, somebody trying to. I was like, no, Squid Game, what? This can't be real. And then I was like, well, what do I have to lose for continuing the casting process? And I did it, and it turns out to be real. So I'm really happy I went with my gut.
So did you watch Squid Games before you applied to the show or got contacted to the show?
Absolutely.
Okay, and so you kind of knew what you were getting yourself into to an extent.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. You see, I did not know what I was getting myself into. Is because I genuinely went there thinking, this was going to be a replication of the show, and it ended up being that theme wise, but it was not that game wise. There's so many different details and different twists that they had with the games and the whole way the whole game went down. It was a different experience. I would definitely say that.
Okay. Well, that's excellent. And so, can you tell the people where you're from real quick?
I'm from St. Louis, Missouri.
Okay, we got Missouri in the building.
But I was raised in Miami, 305 all day, and I've been living here in New York for the past 5 years.
And what was your strategy going into the game?
My strategy going into the game, I didn't know what to think because everything happened so fast, for sure.
Well, before the game started, before you even, red light, green light started, anything, you're going in there, you're at the hotel, you're about to, leave, pack your bags to get ready to get on the bus. What's kind of going through your mind? Like, what's your strategy getting there?
I'm thinking, train. I'm thinking it was a physical game. So I'm thinking train, be mentally ready, be prepared. I wasn't really thinking be on your toes or think outside the box, which was what I should have been thinking. But what I've definitely been thinking was I've been thinking gameplay. I did not have in mind of twists and turns. So that's definitely a life lesson in general, is to definitely prepare yourself for any twists or turns in any situation and not go into things with expectations of what you think is going so.
Yeah, kind of be, on the ball, your feet, and ready to be adjustable and flexible in your mindset and abilities.
Mm-hmm. Very much.
Okay.
Very much.
Well, Darius didn't have a game plan. Well, he did have a game plan. He thought it was going to be physical, but we'll see if his game plan gets on. So this is the episode 5. We'll continue on where episode 4 left off, and that is when all the players had to go up and pick a box. And there were 6 boxes up there, and 5 players went up. So in your head, when you see these boxes come out, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking, oh my motherfucking God, I'm already, first of all, let me just say this. The night before, I had a dream. When we were sleeping in the dorms, I had a dream.
Hey, Martin Luther King.
Shut up. I had a dream. In the dream, I had a blunt in my hand. And the blunt only had 1 hit left off on it. I'm remember that one hit. It's like, it's done. So, or behold, the next day, boxes came out. So as soon as those boxes came out, I was like, I don't know why I feel so connected with these boxes, but like I definitely.
So if you felt so connected, why didn't you step up to go get a box?
I didn't want to risk that. I didn't want to risk going up there, being eliminated, or eliminating other players, and the chance of getting an advantage was so slim.
So before they people walked up, they say anything to you guys about these boxes?
They told us that the basis of the boxes of what was going to be inside, giving us our options.
Before anyone stepped up?
Yeah. No. Before anybody else set up, they were just like, we need the volunteers. We need volunteers to come up. And then they didn't know that was like, okay, well, these volunteers, you're going to have to be in a position of choosing this box. So it was so interesting. Like, it was a crazy night. I would never forget. It was at night and it was going down.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's about to get real.
Mm-hmm.
So we get number 183, Jesse, to step up to pick a box. We get 375 steps up to pick a box. Get 130 steps up to pick a box. 229 and 87. So are you friends with any of these people that went up to pick a box?
Jesse's in my alliance. Felicia is my dog. Jacoby is my dog. And Joel is my dog. So like I had my dogs up there.
About 87.
You see, let me just say this. One thing that people don't know. When I first had went into the game and we went into the dorms, number 87 sat with me and about 6 other people in a circle and basically was like, we're all in an alliance together. We're all in an alliance. We're all going to be there for each other and all this other shit. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So, yeah, continue.
Okay, so those 5 players step up.
Mm-hmm.
And 229, she starts getting a little emotional up there. She starts crying a little bit before anything goes down. That's what they're showing. Then they tell the rules. Each box will contain the power to eliminate other players and advance them to the next game. Or they could get eliminated or there will be an advantage. They say this before anyone opens any box.
Mm-hmm.
And they pick, this is after the players pick their boxes. And then they have a little, I guess, voiceover saying, somebody says Jesse decides to become a leader. I think you say this. Darius says, Jesse decides to become a leader today.
Wait, I said that?
You did say this.
No.
So, okay, Jesse decided to become a leader.
I mean, my boy put on the big boy pants and went up there. I was very proud of him. I'm not even going to hold you. You see, one thing about it was, when we was in the game, Jesse, he did take notice that he was like, you know what? I want to start risk taking. I want to start getting up there. He did say that before he went up there. So with him going up there, like, it really made, me and my alliance so proud. So.
Yep. And so Jesse's the first one that's asked to open his box. There was no particular order, except the people up top told them which order it was, which is interesting. So they're kind of like Jack in the Box type of boxes, and when they're doing them, they have little nursery rhyme coming outside of them, and then the box pops open pretty profusely. And his box says that he must pick 2 people to eliminate. Shocks. Everyone's gasping for air. The first person he eliminates is number 26. He says he eliminates her because he doesn't speak to her. Did you know 26? Nope. Okay. Then his next elimination, he eliminates 141. That is our friend Dash. He says he eliminates him because he was spreading lies around the dorm. And then Dash, when he gets eliminated, kind of goes to him. He's like, has a little smirk on his face. And then he says, there's an alliance of these 4 numbers. And the names of the numbers are Jesse, Cheney, Darius, and TJ. So he get called out in this moment. What's kind of going through your head?
In my head, the first thing that comes is giggles. Because I'm sitting here like, And what the camera did not show was me and Dash had multiple conversations, hashing everything out, explaining everything out, and I tried my best to be there for him. But when he went up there and did that speech and put my name into it,
So they only showed that part. They didn't show the whole speech.
mm-hmm,
Can you give a breakdown of your point of view? Your point of view. There's 2 points of view, but
okay,
yours.
from what he said, from what I remember, he was like, "Oh, that the named alliance named all of us has been treating me like shit and all this other stuff." And you know what's so fucking crazy is the fact that you would even say my name is so really insane to me. Like, but I don't even feel like I need to be going. I'm not even gonna go in. I'm not even gonna go in. But you made that bed. You was definitely like around the dorms running your mouth, and it shows that clearly. Like I love you to death, Dash. I definitely like your energy, but as far as the way you move, it was messy. It was too messy.
In that particular moment of time?
No, in general.
So game-wise, not person, just game-wise.
Messy.
Got it. And so, then we get to 375. It's 375's turn to open the box. Joel.
Mm-hmm.
And the box he opens up eliminates him. So he is gone from Brother House. That's 375's eliminated. Tough way to go out. Very tough way to go out. Everyone seems sad about this. Panther people.
Absolutely, because one thing that Joel did go into that game with was he did like really build some like genuine relationships with people, and he definitely was always on the positive side of motivating and being like, "You can get through this. You can get through this." Joel didn't go in there with no type of like cocky attitude or try to be somebody he wasn't, and that's why I really fucked with him. Like Joel was like, one thing I really fuck with him about is he always keeps it real. So when I seen him go out, like that was the biggest shake. That was one of the biggest shakes in the dorms because everybody loved him.
Yeah.
Everybody loves him, so that really broke my fucking heart. I'll never forget that.
Yeah, that was tough. Seemed like a great guy and everyone to be around. I got to talk to him once, and he's a good dude. So then, now it's 87's turn to open his box. And he opens his box, and it says he must pick one player to eliminate. And his decision is 176. Wow. And his reasoning on the show said because he could be a big threat to his team. That's what he said. And then when
let's sit there and giggle about that for a second. Because is that anything new? Is that anything new, being the biggest threat? So as soon as he said that, I was like, oh, me. Like, I already knew what it was giving. I already know what I give. I'm not even going to sit here and hold you. And another thing was, before this whole elimination went down, he was already in the dorms side-eyeing me. So I'm sitting here looking like why? So he said it out of his mouth, being the biggest threat. I'm big, bad. I mean, can you blame him? Like, if I looked at myself, I am the biggest threat. I'm not even gonna hold you. So he played the game, and I also think that I really don't have no like true malicious feeling towards him because he played the game. He made a very strategic move. He made a very strategic move. We didn't know what we were getting ourselves into for the next upcoming challenges and how they were going to twist our heads. And like, I was definitely in one of the strongest alliances in the game, so I'm not gonna hold you. It is what it is.
Were you surprised you got eliminated compared to Chain?
No.
Or TJ?
No. I was not surprised. I knew that my alliance was going to try to get hit from like all different angles. You already see people was coming for Chandy. We was already hearing things about people trying to come for TJ and Jesse, as you can see, like words were already going around about Jesse. Like, what makes me think that I'm going to be anything different? Why wouldn't I have to be a target? So I understand. I'm never gonna hold you.
So when he calls your name, you look around, and then you're like, "Oh, that's me."
You know what? Because I genuinely forgot my number in that moment, and I'm like, "Wait, 176." So that was definitely a moment when I just like really just forgot my number. Excuse me. And it all then processed, and I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah." That I looked down, and I was like, "Oh, that's me." So
That's pretty funny, huh?
yeah.
So then you get up and you walk right on out. Don't say really a word to anyone. You're like, "All right, I know what time it is. It's time for me, not to get my clock from Flavor Flav. Exit this house." And Cheney's group is not happy. He came to her and she's just shaking her head like. So that ends your time on the show. Sadly, there is no redemption house, and you're walking out. So when you're last thing is when you're walking out these doors, kind of like what's going through your mind right now as you're just walking out the doors?
Gratitude for sure. I'm like very grateful because it was a realization in that moment that like, I'm really here and I really received the experience. I didn't go in there with the mindset of I need to win this money and like this money's the only thing on my mind. I went into this thing with like because I was having a conversation with Steven and I was like, Steven, think about it. I see a lot of people are really taking a lot of things to heart with a lot of this and 2 million after taxes, $2 million, however much it is really nothing. I'm not. That's feasible.
It's a life-changing amount to a lot of people, though.
It is, but I know it's feasible for sure. And so that's why my mindset was like that. But when I got eliminated, like, it was definitely a lot of gratitude because being in that dorm for so long made me realize how blessed I really am. I was like, you know what? I can't complain. I cannot complain. And then like the opportunity in itself was so rich and so bountiful for me that I took so much out of that experience. I was already so abundant leaving. I felt abundance being eliminated. It was awesome. The whole Squid Game thing for me, I'm not gonna lie. It was a great, amazing experience.
Yeah, that's excellent to hear. It's a good perspective too. A lot of people, could take that, and some people I know that get upset when they're eliminated in the first game, but just be grateful for what you kind of got and the blessings that came to you. Not be sour about what could have been. Great word from here. Great word from over here from our friend 176. He's preaching. It ain't Sunday yet. It's almost Sunday.
Okay.
All right, so we'll move on. Then it is time for 130 to open his box next. He's stressing a little bit. He opens his box and he says he gets an advantage in the next game, and then he's on cloud nine. Our friend Jacoby, his podcast, his episode is out as we speak. So check his episode out. He's doing. I mean, you should have checked his episode out by now. It's episode 4 recap. So definitely, if you're watching this, you should have been watched his by now. And if you're skipping episodes, I guess because you want to see Darius, I guess kudos to you. But check his episode out, man. It's a good one. So he opens his box, and then 229 is next, the last box. Our friend Felicia. Felicia. Sorry, apologies. She's going through it, crying, stressing, everything. Going through her Mary J. Blige albums right now. Is going through it right now. So her friends are stressing for her. She's like, "Why did you even get up there? Like, what's going on?" And she opens her box, and she just takes a minute and walks away. And everyone's like, "What's going on?" And it says she's crying again. She must eliminate, and then the box says she must eliminate 3 layers. Woo! That's a deep decision. So before I get into hers real quick, if you had the chance to eliminate somebody, who would you have picked?
Oh, good question.
And this is before the things went down. So try to take that into perspective too.
Would I have picked? I probably would have picked somebody that was not really. I would have probably picked somebody out of another alliance.
Like who?
I don't really know their names.
So you would have picked somebody you probably didn't know, or somebody you did know?
I probably didn't know.
Okay.
Probably that I didn't know, and I saw that they were running an alliance as well.
Okay. Cool.
So like, Go ahead, because I'm gonna say my point of view.
Okay, cool. So it's time for Felicia to eliminate, and first person is 130. Our friend Jacobin. She chose to eliminate him because he has an advantage, and that's a viable reason. I understand that.
Absolutely. I mean,
Understandable.
evens out the play field.
Evens out. On her in her point of view, kind of understand that. Um, then she says she has a montage. She says people have been underestimating her, and now it is her time to show she can be the winner of Squid Game. She speaks it into existence. Then her second pick is 243 Steven. She chose to eliminate him because he has a good alliance. Whew, one of the main focal points of the show at this point is gone. It's out. He's very disappointed. He's kind of shocked. He just doesn't see it coming at all. And everyone, it's a big shock. It's a big player in the game. And her last decision is to decide to eliminate, is to choose to eliminate. I can't even speak right now. She chooses to eliminate 232. Our friend Rick, the oldest player in the game, is gone just like that. Rick is super upset to be eliminated this way. He had his Gambu gang. He had, other people had his back in there. He seemed to, be a high spirit, and everyone kind of, liked Rick a lot. So those are the three people. And after they get eliminated, a lot of people go up to 229. They're celebrating. They're praising her. They're like, "You did a good job." She doesn't care. She's happy. She's in the game, and the game. She says the game is more fair and leveled at this point. So what's your mindset on what are you thinking after she does all these things?
You see, and then another thing that people doesn't really realize about being in that game was when you were in, and I could really feel, and I really saw where Felicia was coming from, because for a fact that being, trying to look from a woman's point of view, like the males felt like they had dominance in there and they had an advantage of winning the game. They did, and they were boasting that. From the male dominant alliances to people with big personalities such as Hussein, Brighton, and other people that made it feel like this was a male ran game. So I completely see, Jacoby's my dog, and definitely would not have done that. But think about it from that type of perspective, an advantage that does not really, and you don't know what you're really getting yourself into in the next couple of challenges. We did not know. We had no idea we were doing Battleship. That was the twist of it. So we're okay, are we doing strength? Strength dominant games? Are we doing things like that, or are we just gonna stick to mind mental games? And if I was in her position, I could see where she was coming from. It definitely hurt me to see Jacoby and somebody like Rick. I don't think I would have voted Rick out. Steven, okay, I could see that because I couldn't see it because Steven did keep himself low key. I would not think that he was a target, but I saw it as far as the way the visible presentation of his alliance to everybody else, and how that may have come off as strong, one of the strongest, because he did have a great alliance. The second thing is, as far as Rick goes, it's I would not have touched Rick. I would have left Rick exactly where he was at, and at least continue to let him play the game. But let me say this though. Rick is a sweetheart. He is a sweetheart.
Great guy.
But do not underestimate him. Rick is very, very smart. Rick is very, very smart. And he is very, very conscious of what's going on and how to really be very strategic with his moves. And I've seen it and I heard it with my own eyes. And so I would not have done that to him, but I'm not going to. He's a very smart guy. That's all I want to say.
He is very wise, and he proved that in the game. So, the Gambu gang is shaken to its core. They've kind of been broken up, like the Beatles, and not getting back together anytime soon. They're trying to regroup. So 334, 201, and 31 are only ones left in their little gang. The Squid Games cast players go from 70 players to 63 players, with 6 guys eliminated and 1 female. Big shift. in regards to those. I guess we keep track of that. So the game is getting more real. Jada says she would donate a portion to a kidney center if she won the money. She has a little montage here. Then we get to meet Ashley, player 278. She is introduced. You meet her. She is from Atlanta, Georgia.
Amazing.
She was a straight A student and was culture shocked to be surrounded by only white people in college, is what she said. It's hilarious. She's from an urban area, and then she kind of has to, adjust in that. She said that kind of helped her a little bit with Squid Games, or in life, I guess, in general, just being around different people and learning to adjust. So it's a very interesting thing. We see 87 and 254 have a very strong bond in their small alliance, and they call this the Corner Alliance because they hang out in the corner. And then they have other people with them, but it shows them initially. Then it's bedtime, and it's time to get up. Then we see the mother and son, Leanne and Trey, talking to 418 about if anyone has been trying to target them. Trey says he hasn't. Trey says he had heart surgery recently, and explains the process behind heart surgery. So we get to hear his backstory on that. Then they call 5 players for chores, and then 254 Mike says he is skeptical about the chores. Then we meet Jackie 393. She says we meet her, and she's a speech therapist from San Antonio. Talks about how she reads the room and will do whatever she needs to do to live another day. She doesn't want to screw people over. She explicitly says this. And we find out that 278, 287, 65, 54, and number 7 are the ones who do the chores. And they have been told and haven't been told if they complete the chores, then they said that they'll get a reward. Yeah, they have been told. 65 comes up, and he says he's been low key and doesn't want to be a flop. 77 said her parents told her not to volunteer for anything because it might be shit. And then they complete the chore. It's not really anything. They complete the chore. It's successful. They go through this kind of quick. Then the guards come out and promise them a picnic as a treat. And each player must pick to pair up with someone to enjoy their picnic. All thanks to the 5 players completing this task. How nice is that? What do you think about that?
That was grimy of them to do that. That was grimy of Squid Game to do that. They knew that was grimy. I mean, that was an intense day. So friends went with who they knew best and who were they closest with best to, really rest assure them on all the chaos that's going on. And now you're going to tell them that's who you're going against?
We haven't got the.
Yes, I did.
Well,
I'm sorry. Oh, you did. I did. Okay, I'm sorry.
But it's fine. We getting there. So I'll get there real quick. 65 is looking for someone to pair up with and can't find someone. Then 222 doesn't have a partner and is alone. So he's the only one by himself.
He got an advantage on that one.
But we don't know that yet. Like, who? Oh. We don't know.
So true.
Yeah. Let's look at it. But he might have a disadvantage. We don't know yet, do we?
A disadvantage? What would that look like?
I don't know. So he could have an advantage or disadvantage. We don't know yet because there's an odd number of players left. 63. Remember this. And everyone starts opening their picnic basket and enjoying it until find marbles at the bottom of the basket. Everyone is shook to their core. It is hitting everyone that this is not a game. This is not a picnic. This ain't the picnic in Central Park like they thought it was. This ain't their grandma's picnic. This is Squid Game's picnic. And so we see Trey is partnered with his mom. Knows one of them is going home. 278 is devastated to have to play 229 in marbles, and then we get the cliffhanger. Wow. Wow.
Damn, man. I mean, Leanne is so freaking smart and strategic. She's very strategic. I would have thought that she would have. I would have thought somebody in there would have identified that this is a setup. I probably would have fell for it myself. But Leanne, that's gonna. You see, For me, that's gonna hurt me seeing Leanne and Trey go against each other because they are a good damn team.
Yeah, that's tough.
They are a good damn team, and also my girl Cheney's in there.
Darius.
No, with Chess.
I thought I saw Cheney picnic with Darius.
I'm Darius.
Not Darius. TJ.
No, she was with Chess.
Oh, I must have missed. I saw a note, took notes of some, but okay.
Yeah, and
So who's TJ?
I think Jada.
Oh.
Oh no, Jesse.
Oh, okay. I didn't see the who exactly. I knew they hit a quick pan over, so you could kind of see everyone in there with each other.
That was a nice pan that they would do. That went around.
They did a cool pan. So check out the end of the episode if you missed it
Check
again.
it out.
Definitely, it was pretty cool to see. But yeah, this is kind of grimy. I would have picked my friend to have a picnic with too.
You wouldn't have gotten a hint that this is probably we really finna have a picnic right now.
Because they said it was a reward, and they gave rewards out before, you know, and so, but they never brought out no picnic baskets. And honestly, I can't speak on that. And I asked, you know, I've spoken to some folks, and it's hard to say you would have had an alert going off that, because like you said yourself, it's been a long day. You're tired. Your brain's not thinking as it normally thinks, like when you're well rationed and whatnot. So it's like you're just like, oh, good, we got food. Oh, you want to eat? Oh, you'll eat. Why would you pick to eat with a stranger? Like, why would I? Oh, random person, come on with me. Like, come on now.
Okay, so say that me and you both were still in the game, and we decided to this together. What would you think?
I would suck. I would feel like, damn, man, it's gonna be tough. That would be tough. But I would have to get my game face on, coach.
I was like,
It would be tough though. I would not be happy. I'm like, I mean, I wouldn't let you win, but
you know, it would be it's a shock what people would do for $4 million. You know, it's a shock what people would do.
It would be, but I wouldn't set a friend up. I wouldn't set a friend. I would set a friend up, but
it depends on what the setup is.
Exactly.
So, like,
I mean, look, I would make it work. This is what I would do. I would try to do at least. I'll be like, look, man, you let me slide this, I got you.
You got me fucked up. You got me fucked up. I do not trust your game playing skills to put you in charge of my millions. Who would do like that? Doesn't even make sense. I would giggle at that.
It probably wouldn't work. That plan wouldn't work. But I would honestly, from my past experience dealing with Dalgona, which my plan would have been, which I'll get into my plan would have been. I never explained what exactly I would have done. I don't think I've said what in each video. Now that I know what's going on, at the time being, nobody was listening, but I would have honestly found something fair for both of us, and something we both can agree on. Okay. And we're not playing the games we both agree on it, and I'm not going to settle, and I'm not going to argue my way or the highway. I'm not doing it. And I think I'm that kind of person. I'm not kind of trying to cheat, because as you can see, if you try and cheat in these games, you're going to be the one getting screwed over in the end. So we're going to make it fair. We're going to do something together, and that's that. So
I want to hear, what was your reaction to my elimination?
Well, I was very, when I saw it on TV, I was very like, dang, because I mean, we I was touched in, I knew what was going down, but seeing it on TV, it was like, wow, I mean, this is my point of view too, and I said this in the games, I don't like how people say, oh, you were a threat. Well, how am I a threat? This is not who can bench press the most. This is not running 40 times. This is not a game of chess.
Now, let me tell you something. And let's just keep it real. You know what they mean.
I know what you mean.
No, exactly.
I know what you mean, and I don't like that part of it where it's like, you're a threat in those regards, and I see what that is, and people have their own reasons. I'm gonna let people keep their own reasons. I'm not gonna put words in nobody's mouth. Whatever they do, and if that's what they think is right, that's on them. I'm allowed to have my opinions. You're allowed to have yours. But I see things as what they are. I look at the world in those kind of lenses. and I don't like it. You know, I mean, I wasn't a big fan. I'm saying Felicia did what she. Am I saying Felicia? Felicia. She did what she did. I wasn't a big fan of what she did. You know, it wasn't. I wouldn't have made that move, even with the advantage. This is my homie right here.
Who'd you have eliminated?
He. There's no reason to backstab anyone in this game. At this point, there is no reason. There's 60 people. You know, that's a lot.
Be specific.
Out of everyone that was currently left in the game, now everybody, you know, everybody's left that was currently in the game. It wouldn't have been any of my brothers and sisters up in the game because I'm trying to get y'all. We got to keep the money going on. You know what I mean? But it also wouldn't have been any of my friends in the game. I would not have done that as well. So I had, you know, 151 was in the game still. Eric, that's my friend. 65 was my friend in the game at the time. Well, he was my friend in the game, period. B, I was cool. Like, I talked to her. She was cool. So anybody, I talked to a lot of people. So it would have been hard for me because I knew a lot of people. But somebody who I didn't know, and, you know, who was also somebody who, you know, anybody who's my friends and anybody who's for the culture, I'm not eliminated. So,
period.
That's it, honestly.
Period.
Because I told going into the game, I told myself, this is the game plan. Find your friends and find the people.
Oh, hold on, because I gotta show this picture because this picture is too fucking ill.
All right, well, we still live. You know that, right?
I know that. I'm gonna put it in the camera.
Well, you speeding up.
I'm gonna put it in the camera.
So that's the end of episode 5, y'all.
Wait, no, because this picture was.
Okay, well, we gotta wrap it up because the people's gotta go home. You know, I don't want to keep y'all. But anyways, that's the end of episode 5. Okay. So Darius had his time on the game show, and we're gonna wrap it up. I appreciate you. You know, meeting you in the game. It was dope. Found out you live in New York. That's lit as well. I know what picture you have to show me too.
You don't even know what picture.
I already know what picture that is. I saw that. I knew you was about to show me that.
The real ones. Real ones. That's what you call real. But go ahead. Let's go ahead. Give your closing. Give your closing. Go ahead.
Do you have any parting words for the people?
Thank you for everybody who I met in the game and also everyone who is supporting me and continuing to root for me all around the world. I really love and I appreciate all of the support. And anybody who, you know, wants to, really put themselves out there or really get on TV, all I got to say is just continue to work hard and put yourself out there and continue to be you authentically. Everybody who was shown in that show showed themselves authentically, and that's what works. Continue to be you and continue to, you know, never let anybody else dim your light. And don't ever feel like that you are worth any amount of money. Let me just say that last one. You are not worth any amount of money. I would never be worth $4 million. I am worth more than $4 million. And as are you.
Exactly.
So
do what you got to do for the money, but don't sell your soul for the coin, period. You sell your soul for the coin, you want to sell anything. Sell your family under the bridge. Just make sure you're checking yourself at the door. Don't let the dollar signs get in front of everything.
Period. And that's all I got to say. You know, peace out from Squid Game.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, appreciate you coming through with this exclusive in-person interview, our first one for the Squid Games Aftermath. Hopefully not the last. And we'll catch y'all on the flip side. Deuces. Oh, and I'll edit this last part out when I reach for this and record.